Okay, Halloween TV series. This was like was this the first bit of news out the gate that, yeah, we're going forward. We're having a Halloween TV series. We're having a fresh start. The only movie that's kind of relevant here is Halloween 78. But I put in quotes there, fresh start. And I gotta give a little bit of or a lot of props here to Dave McCoy, because he made a video right after and he was thinking, hey, do they mean that the first movie exists? Because that doesn't necessarily mean that the first movie actually exists. And my thoughts on that are the first movie shouldn't exist. I think they need to literally start fresh. Tell the story of the very first movie, setting up the first characters. But you know, you don't have to make this the exact same movie as the first movie. As a matter of fact, I would much prefer you not. I would much prefer they completely rewrite this story and include the same characters, but maybe change things up a bit about how things are going. Maybe, and this could be an ugly word, but maybe modernize it a little bit. I just mean as far as like, you know, I guess how the world is today, right? Down to like the establishments, the facilities, all that stuff, how laws are governed now. You know, things are different now than they were back in 1978. I'm guessing that this would be set in the modern day. They could do that. They could literally start the Halloween TV series in the modern day with a character named Laurie Strode. Did they actually say that Laurie Strode is actually going to be a character in the movie, though? They just said characters from the original movie. I would guess yes. But, yeah. So, here's something to think about. And we'll talk more about that first season here, but I got to thinking, too. TV's different than movies in a lot of different ways. And you could have a movie that is really great and mildly successful, and you never see another movie again because, you know, maybe they didn't make back the money that they thought they were going to make, you know, so they have to pivot. TV is a little different, I think. I think TV, if you get a big enough fan base for a TV series and it's successful, then I think they're more than likely going to go forward with a season 2 for a TV show over a sequel to a movie. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of chance, like Alita, right? Alita was begging for a sequel. That movie, it was so good. I wanted a sequel so bad, but did we ever get one? They still talk about it from time to time. But I think if Alita would have been a successful TV show and it garnered a big fan base, then yeah, they would have definitely made a season 2 of that. So it's kind of the same thing here. And are they even thinking about what they're going to do going forward? I have a feeling if it's good, a Halloween TV series will be successful. I think there are enough fans of the franchise that could make this a hit, that could get behind it. So what could season 2 be? You know, like season 1, is that going to like finish up a certain storyline and then season 2 goes in a different direction? Or are they like ending at a certain point and then picking up at the beginning of season 2, right? So I guess those are my questions. But the reason I say that is because they're just talking about this first season, right? And they're talking about how they're just using the first movie as a blueprint, okay? Season 2, anything else is up for grabs. Season 2, they could say, okay, now let's go explore other characters like Jamie Lloyd, you know? Although I will say this right now. I think Danielle Harris is going to shoot herself in the foot. What's up, guys? You are at the middle of the video. Don't go anywhere. There's still plenty of content ahead of you, but just wanted to break right here to say you are at Drumdums Xtra, my second channel. If you like my main channel, and you're not subscribed, I would urge you to subscribe to this channel, okay? Because this is where I do a lot of my horror updates and whatnot. I've moved all that stuff over to here, and it's more of a live stream type feel. I am working really hard on this channel, just as hard as I am on the other channel. You'll see at least 3 or 4 videos a week. And most of it's like horror news, topical type stuff, got some rankings on there and whatnot. The main channel's still the main channel, but this is more for this type of content. So anyway, guys, back to the video. And subscribe, damn it. Because, my God, sometimes I think you can, it's like when somebody asks you to do something over and over and over and over and over again. And what happens when that happens? You almost don't want to do it. And it becomes annoying. Okay, I get it. You've asked me to do this 8,000 times. And at this point, you're kind of getting on my nerves. I'm kind of sick of it. So actually, I kind of want to go a different direction now because you're annoying the shit out of me. And I think that's might be what's happening. And but guys, I'm on the Jamie Lloyd train, all right? I'm freaking team Jamie Lloyd all the way. If you're familiar with my channel, you know how much I've made videos about Jamie Lloyd, how I love that Thorn trilogy, and my number one wish would be a Jamie Lloyd storyline. All that aside, though, she's gonna shoot herself in the foot, I think, because every time there's a bit of Halloween news, here comes Danielle Harris making some kind of post, talking about it on the podcast, and and she has every right to do that. It's her podcast; she can talk about it all she wants. And maybe I'm looking a little bit too much into this, but it just seems to me like they got a lot more plans than a Jamie Lloyd story. So this first season, though, we know that's not going to have anything to do with Jamie Lloyd. But, when they announced this, and we knew that it was only going to take place in the first movie, here comes Danielle Harris posting something like, hey, guys, my fans that follow me on my page that are going to tell me what I want to hear. Would you consider me part of the original lineup? And of course, her fans were like, yeah, of course you're the original lineup. No, you're not. Okay? They're talking about the first movie. All right? And this might be the first time I've ever talked against the Jamie Lloyd storyline. Okay? But not to say that I don't want that, but it ain't happening. All right? It ain't happening. So, yeah. But season 2, there's a possibility for that. Right? Season 2, they could go that route. You could tell the Jamie Lloyd story, but I think Danielle Harris needs to kind of sit back a little bit, maybe put on her poker face, right? And then maybe they'll be like, because I think the fans can make something popular without the person themselves constantly flexing about it. I think if enough fans are like, you're on freaking X and you constantly see people posting, Jamie Lloyd is trending, right? It's shit like that gets people talking, right? So I think if that happens, then yeah. But if it's constantly Danielle Harris, hey, I'm over here, yeah, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. It's psychology, right, guys? It's basic psychology, Yeah. All right. All right, here's the next one. And man, I'm going to get a lot of mixed opinions on this one. Can Lori be fresh again? Shift focus. Because I've seen so many people, even my buddy Jason from Cinema Reviews, he was like, please, God, no more Laurie Strode. I've said it a million times. No more Laurie Strode. But here's what I'm thinking. I think where I'm coming from is no more that Laurie Strode. Right? No more Jamie Lee Curtis. That's really what I'm talking about here. I am sick of Jamie Lee Curtis. God bless her. She saved the franchise. She's done so many things for the franchise. But I'm done. I'm done with Jamie Lee Curtis. If you're starting fresh, though, and you have to have a Laurie Strode character, I guess it all depends on what they do with the character. Is she going to be exactly like the Jamie Lee Curtis version, or are they going to maybe change it up a little bit? I don't know. I think I have to be won over. I think I would prefer them to use a fresh batch of characters in this because I think Michael Myers, in my mind, he works best when he's hunting other people outside of Laurie Strode, just because I'm so sick of him hunting Laurie Strode. I like when Myers is just, almost like random prey, even though I am for the sibling angle. I do love the sibling angle. So I guess what I would prefer is if this was an alternate reality, maybe Laurie Strode doesn't exist, but there is a different Strode, kind Kind of like if they had Kara Strode in part 6, a Betty Strode, something like that. I think that would be kind of cool. Maybe link the two worlds together, but it's different people. I think that's the way I would like them to go. I think that would feel more fresh, right? I think they're still going to do Laurie Strode, but that's kind of what I would like, But I'm not as angry as a lot of people are about Laurie Strode. I just don't want Jamie Lee Curtis, okay? Loomis. Why is nobody talking about Loomis? That's the first thing I jumped up and down about when this was announced. Oh my God, they have to have Loomis in this. We haven't had Loomis since 2009. And arguably, that wasn't really Loomis, That was different than Donald Pleasance. And I know we did have they showed like Loomis in David Gordon Green's trilogy in the flashback scene, but that didn't really count. Not only are we going to have Loomis, but we're going to have, I think, a lot of Loomis in this TV series. And boy, does that get me excited because he's my number 2 favorite character of the franchise. He might be tied with Michael, actually. That's part of the reason why I'm kind of obsessed with the franchise, is because I just love Loomis so much. And that's one thing that I do miss about the franchise. The one part in Halloween 2018 that gave me chills was when you heard the tape of Loomis talking. And man, I just love stuff. Whoever that actor was that did Loomis's voice nailed it. Because he really captured that like dark and creepy side of Loomis, that I like. So, I mean, who are they going to cast as Loomis too? I saw some people mention like Javier Bardem, which I think is a great choice. Javier Bardem would be amazing as Loomis. Beth says they better get somebody good to play Loomis. In the Halloween Returns script, they had Gary Oldman. I think Gary Oldman would be fantastic as Loomis. I think those are my 2 top picks, guys.